If you've ever said, I can't help being emotionally unavailable, I'm an Aquarius, or Mercury retrograde is why I ghosted you, you might be using astrology as a defense mechanism. And before you click away, I'm saying this as someone who has absolutely done this too. Astrology can be an incredible tool for self-awareness, but can also become the most sophisticated way to actually avoid changing. Let me show you how this happens without you even realizing it. In psychology, a defense mechanism is an unconscious strategy your psyche uses to protect you from uncomfortable feelings, usually shame, fear, or responsibility. The tricky thing about defense mechanisms is that they don't feel like avoidance. They feel like insight. They feel like self-awareness. Your ego is very smart. It will use whatever language you speak to keep you from having to change. And if you speak the language of astrology, your ego will absolutely use your birth chart to keep you comfortable, stuck, and defended against growth. The most dangerous defense mechanisms are the ones that look like spiritual work, because you think you're healing when you're really just getting better at explaining why you can't. So let's go through the three main ways astrology becomes a defense mechanism. And I want you to be honest with yourself as we go through these, because I've done all three myself. So defense mechanism number one is using astrology to avoid accountability. This is the most obvious one, but it's also the most common. It's when you use your chart as an excuse for behavior you can actually change. I ghosted you because Mercury was in retrograde and I just can't communicate during that time. Or I was rude to you, but I'm an Aries rising, so of course I'm aggressive. I can't commit because I have Venus in Gemini. Here's the thing. Your chart does show you your patterns. It does show your natural inclinations, but the moment you use it as a reason for why you can't behave differently, you've turned astrology into a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's the astrological version of, that's just who I am, except now it sounds more legitimate because you can point to the planets and say, see, cosmic. But here's what's actually happening. You're taking a tool that's meant to show you where you need to grow and using it to justify why you don't have to. You have Venus in Gemini, but that doesn't make you incapable of commitment. It shows you that commitment will require you to work through that fear of being trapped. That's the growth. But if you say, I'm just a Gemini Venus, I can't do monogamy, you never have to face that fear. And the really insidious part, you feel spiritually evolved while you do it. You think you're being self-aware because you know your chart, but self-awareness without accountability is just narcissism with a cosmic flavoring. Defense number two is using astrology to bypass the healing work. This one's more subtle. This is where you can name your wounds with astrological precision, but you never actually have to do anything about them. Oh, I have abandonment issues because my moon is in the 8th house. I struggle with my self-worth because Chiron is in my 2nd house. I have father wounds because Saturn is in my 4th house. You're not wrong. Those placements do correlate with those themes. But here's the question. Are you using astrology to understand the wound so you can heal it? Or are you using astrology to explain the wound so you can keep it? Because there's a huge difference between I have Chiron in my 2nd house, so I'm working on healing my relationship with worthiness, and I have Chiron in my 2nd house, so I'll always struggle with worthiness. One is self-awareness leading to healing. The other is self-awareness being used to avoid healing. In psychology, this is called spiritual bypassing. It's when you use spiritual language and frameworks to avoid dealing with unresolved psychological issues. And astrology is one of the most effective tools for spiritual bypassings because it gives you such a detailed map of your wounds that you can study the map forever without ever actually going on the journey. You know every aspect in your chart, name every Chiron placement. You can explain your trauma with perfect astrological accuracy. But if you're not in therapy, in coaching, in somatic work, if you're not actually feeling your feelings and changing your patterns, you're just using astrology as a very sophisticated form of intellectualizing. And your psyche loves this because it gets to feel like it's doing the work without the discomfort of actually changing. Defense number 3 is using astrology to stay stuck in your story. So this is the deepest one. This is when you turn your birth chart into your identity instead of your map. I'm meant to suffer because I have Saturn in my 12th house. I'll never have healthy relationships because my Venus squares my Pluto. My life purpose is to be wounded because Chiron conjuncts my Sun. When you do this, you're taking the most dynamic, growth-oriented tool, your birth chart, and turning it into a prison. You're making your chart a fixed story about who you are instead of living a map of who you're becoming. Here's the truth that a lot of astrology content won't tell you. Your chart doesn't determine your fate. It shows you your starting conditions and your growth edges, but you have free will. You have agency. You can work with your chart or you can be worked by it. Saturn in your 12th house doesn't mean you're destined to suffer. It means you're here to learn how to build structure around your spiritual life and how to make the unconscious conscious. That's the invitation. Suffering is what happens when you resist the invitation. Venus square Pluto doesn't mean you'll never have healthy relationships. It means you're here to transform your understanding of love and power. You're here to learn that intimacy doesn't require you to lose yourself. That's the work. Bad relationships are what happens when you avoid the work. But if you decide your chart is your destiny, if you make it your identity, you never have to risk changing. You never have to try something new and possibly fail. You get to stay safe in your story. And the defense mechanism here is so elegant because it looks like deep self-knowledge. I know myself so well through astrology, except what you know is your pattern. And you've decided that pattern is permanent. So how do you use astrology in a way that actually supports growth instead of defending against it? Here's the shift. Your chart is a map, not a mandate. Every placement in your chart shows you a pattern and an invitation. The pattern is what you'll default to if you stay unconscious. The invitation is what becomes possible if you do the work. So instead of saying, I have Venus square Pluto, so relationships are hard for me, you say, I have Venus square Pluto, which means I'm learning how to have intimate relationships without power struggles. This is my edge. Instead of, I can't help being avoidant, I'm an Aquarius moon, you say, my Aquarius moon shows me I default to emotional detachment when I'm scared. My work is to stay present even when intimacy feels threatening. The chart doesn't change, but your relationship to it changes completely. And here's how you know you're using your chart consciously. You're actually changing. You're not just understanding yourself better, you're behaving differently. You're in therapy, coaching, you're doing somatic work. You're having hard conversations. The astrology is giving you insight, but you're doing the integration work. Because insight without integration is just another defense mechanism. So I'll be honest with you. I've used astrology in all three of these ways. I've explained away my patterns instead of changing them. I've named my Chiron wound so many times that it started to feel like my identity. I've used my chart as a reason why certain things would always be hard for me. And what I've learned is that the more you know your chart, the more responsibility you have. Because you can claim you don't know your patterns anymore. You can't say you didn't see it coming. The chart shows you exactly where the work is. So the question then becomes, are you going to do the work? Or are you going to use the chart as a reason for why you can't? If this resonated with you, or if it pissed you off, let me know in the comments which of these three defense mechanisms you recognize in yourself. No judgment, we've all done this. And if you want more content that looks at astrology through a psychological and somatic lens, subscribe because that's what this channel is about. We're not just reading charts, we're using them as tools for actual transformation. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next week.